Hi, my name is jELeeoo, this is my second channel, and welcome back to the weekly deep dive with jELeeoo. This week we are doing Thursday, January 8th to Wednesday, January 15th. Got a pretty decent drink, move faster when carrying heavy things. And let's get straight into my build. For this deep dive, I'm going Scout, with the armor rig being 3212. Normally I have it 3112, but there's a shield disruption mission on this deep dive, so I'm going with more health. Got the Voltaic Stun Sweeper as my grenade. For the grappling hook, I have 1112. For the flare gun, I have 223. For the pickaxe, always just charge time up. For my secondary, I'm going with the jury-rigged boomstick with a 22323 build with the compact shells overclock. And for my main primary weapon, I'm going with the Deep Core GK2 with a 21223 build in the AI Stability Engine overclock. My perks are Deep Pockets, Born Ready, Resupplier, Iron Will, and Beastmaster. And yeah, this is my Scout. Excellently said as always. I'm shenanigans get in my way this time. Let's hope. This is my second attempt, although the first attempt was only like 2 minutes, but some stuff happened. I'll get into it in a second. I haven't slept in 24 hours, including this recording and the recording you're listening to right now, because I have been sick, and I slept all of Wednesday. I just skipped an entire day in sleep, because I was that sick. I had a fever, it was really bad. Anyways, we hop in this one with an on-site refinery, 2 alien eggs, and I hear a stalker nearby, so I'm looking around like a madman, and low-key, in my first go... Hello? In my first go, I got hit by the stalker pretty bad. And then I noticed that my alt key, which I use for my primary, isn't working properly. So I go to, Excuse me? I go to rebind it, and all of a sudden my alt key is recognized as thumb mouse 2. Which is strange, because, I don't know if you know keyboards and mice, but, that's not how it works. Anyways, I immediately tame a Steve here, and I use this awesome, overclock on my deep core that basically just removes all recoil, which makes it really cool. I really like that. But, seriously, what the hell? So, yeah, Linux shenanigans, fucking me up as always. Some, GNOME daemon was updated on my Steam Deck, and all of a sudden, my mouse and keyboard now have the Windows and Alt key recognized as mouse 4 and 5 respectively, and mouse 4 and 5 are recognized as just mouse 4, but also the left and right bracket keys. I don't understand how it works. It made me very upset. I factory resetted my Steam Deck to try and fix this, to no avail. Good thing I did back up everything onto that 1TB micro SD, but still. Oh boy. Anyways, this is just a normal on-site refinery mission, and actually the spawn of the pump jacks is really good for a scout, who's probably like the least useful on an on-site refinery in all honesty. I just wanted to do a scout deep dive to sort of redeem how badly I was playing last time I was scout, even though scout's like my main. Well, driller is nowadays, but scout was my main. Anyways, I hear this stalker and I'm freaking out because it sounds close, and then all of a sudden he's there and I just couldn't get him. Anyways, the topic of this mission that I wanted to talk about is my brother. I have an older brother that I live with. Originally he wanted to move out a few years back, but then all of a sudden the housing market went and did a really cool thing. And also, we live in Florida, and Florida has a really epic housing market. Here we have a lot of nitro that we're just mining. So anyways, my brother. I love the guy, right? He's my family. We've been through a lot together. I've been slipping up, pressing right click instead of left click. And, I do love the guy, I really do. But at the same time, I hate his guts and I can't wait for him to be gone from my life. This man decides, hey, I'm gonna do a cool thing called going to New York and getting sick and then being inconsiderate and coughing all about without covering my arm in the house and getting everyone else in my family sick, including my young brother, my baby boo brother. And this asshole then has the gall to say, yeah, we're recovering, to a friend on the phone. As if I'm not on the other side of the room, reeling in pain, with a clogged nose that I can't breathe out of, so I'm mouth breathing like a fucking loser. And I'm literally I'm fatigued, I feel heavy, I'm shaky, I can barely fucking stand on my own. Nope, I don't like that. I don't like that oppressor there at all. Good thing the shells the jury rig boomstick is really cool, especially when you can have it inflict fire on enemies. It's really good. But like, you know, this experience of me really being upset at my brother for getting me sick, because I am. I will not forgive him until he decides to pack a lot of vitamins next time he goes on a trip. Makes me think about the experience of having a sibling, because like, I know that they're like every family situation is different, but I feel like the normal, dare I say, healthy experience of having a sibling is to simultaneously love them, and you're gonna stick up for them, stand up for them, you're gonna be there for them, but you also hate their guts. You also want to just go in the room, knock something over like a cat, and just walk away. There's the first egg. I tell Bosco to mine. Bosco, do the mission for me. I should also mention that this deep dive is in the dense biozone. We haven't gotten that many like unique biomes, honestly. I really do hate those things, the nanonite, whatever they're called. But here we can actually see how cool my grenade is. It's just a boomerang that pretty much just auto hits things, but like it also stuns them, and it kills all little enemies real easily. And I love the boomerang. It's so cool. It's awesome. I can throw it without losing any ammo if it doesn't hit any enemy, so I can fiddle with it. I can idle animation with it. It's so cool. You may also notice that I'm not gonna say this like I'm a fucking badass, but I did strategically choose to make Steve the Glyphid guard. I tamed that one instead of like, you know, a normal grunt. Now, back to living with a brother. He's just, you know, I love the guy, but he's just so dumb, and not like in like a, oh, what is 2 + 2 equal kind of way, but not like a, oh, I didn't know that kind of way. More of just like an inconsiderate kind of way, and like he's not aware that he's inconsiderate, but like he really is the type to like cough in the house without like covering his mouth. He's the type to leave the bathroom an absolute mess without cleaning up after himself. And I know I'm airing my family's dirty laundry here. I say my family, just my brother's dirty laundry here, but like at the same time, he should pick up his damn clothes. And I mean that both literally and figuratively. God, the terrain of this biome is such a fucking double-edged sword, because it's so cool and like unique, but at the same time, it's so like hard to navigate around at times, and it could really be a detriment in certain mission types, which we will see later in this deep dive. I'm also collecting on... There was a lot of nitro on this stage that I just fucking went for. Sorry, I got distracted by Satisfactory. I should also let you know, I'm currently idling Satisfactory on my other monitor as we're speaking. Thank you, Mission Control, for telling me to swarm. And thank you to me for being upset. Hello? I have to complete the secondary? What? I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that. It's kind of crazy that, like, in on-site refineries and deep dives, you have to complete the secondary primary. That's weird to say. You have to do that first before you can start the refinery, which is kind of cool. What was I gonna say? But yeah, just, you know, living with this guy, he's been a thorn in my side for all 20 plus years I've been on this earth. You know? Because, and oh my god, I used to share a room with him. I think the only reason I'm such like a neat freak in like germaphobe I am today is because I had to share a room with a creature of pure filth. Now granted, it's gotten better, but like, I still, just like any state that he lives in is like just a trash heap to me. Because I like to keep my room very tidy and neat, organized, so I know where everything is. I ran completely out of grenade ammo and secondary, so I call a resupply. I almost got scared I was going to get crushed by it there, and then I got scared that Steve was going to get crushed on it, but miraculously we both survived. And like, you know, it was so bad sharing a room with him, to the point where like I'd often just sleep on the couch. Like my dad, who's a night owl like myself, would often just be up like watching TV. And I'd just be like, Dad, I'm sleeping out here. And I just fall asleep to whatever boring show he was watching. Until one day he put on like Avatar's The Last Airbender, and that started a whole trend of us just watching some shows together. My dad's awesome, I love my dad. But like, the second we converted a back room into a bedroom for him, a separate bedroom for him, and I took the room that we used to share, which is now just my room. I was like gone. My family never saw me again. I finally got the privacy that I've always wanted, and I've been hanging on to it for 6 years now. 6 or 7 years, about. I was like just entering high school when I got my own room, and he was just entering college. And just like, man. Shit, come on, stop. It was annoying. I also I'm still getting used to my new keyboard, so I keep fat fingering the mod hub button, which is right next to the flare gun button, because I have that mapped to G and mod hub is on H. Weird situation. Look at that. Look at the stone sweeper just fucking do that. But yeah, you know, and I know I'm complaining about him. It's just because I'm mad at him because he got me sick, and like I want him to suffer for the suffering he's caused me once I'm Schadenfreude. But like no, he is a good guy. You know, he's always the life of a party. He's very charismatic. He's also such a big softie, but like in a cool way, and he's just so down to hang out. There was also he used to always like just come home to me and be like, "Yo, I got you a Reese's bar." Like he just like on his way from work. Home from work, he just stopped and gave me a candy bar, and you know I love him for the small things like that. You know, we grew up hating each other. Why can I not stop fat fingering my keys? I don't know what is going on. But we grew up like absolutely hating each other, and then like one day we both woke up and just be like, you know what, this motherfucker's alright, and you know, I do love the guy, but goddamn, I really need him to fix some issues. Anyways. Next stage is... I actually forget. I think it's mining. Yeah, mining and 2 mini-mules. And it's shield disruption, meaning I do not have shield, meaning everything is dangerous. But I hear a jet boot crate and I go to unlock it. What? And then I get baffled that I dared to fail it. How dare I? Anyways. You know, I'm pretty sure we've been through all of deep dive objectives, actually, so I don't really need to explain, you know, what things are. But, you know, I forgot what I was gonna say. I'm so... despite not having slept for over 24 hours, I don't feel, like, delirious, but, like, I can tell I technically am, you know? Okay, caught up. But, anyways, I want... for starting before. This entire biome has such unique cave generation. Anyways, the topic for this mission that I want to talk about is games. I love video games. I'm a gamer. Yay, hooray! And specifically, games that are coming out in 2026, and which ones specifically I am excited for. Can't believe it took me that long to find the coarse dirt for Bosco to mine through. Okay, side note, I love Bosco, but man, he was getting on my nerves this deep dive, and like something like I think the one thing that he is just absolutely dog shit at, because he's good at a lot of things, but the one thing he is my boomerang accidentally activated Betsy, and I immediately just go for the Scepter Strider because I can tell he's going to be a pain in my ass. And then boom, look at that, look at how much damage I'm doing to Betsy. Anyways, what I wanted I forgot what's gonna... But yeah, Bosco's one thing that he's absolutely terrible about is digging through coarse dirt. He just digs a straight line. Oh, you bitch! In like a certain distance. And as I fucking kill Betsy, this guy does this shit ton of damage to me. Fuck you. And you know, no shield, so it's a lot of hard damage. But yeah, man, Bosco has just... He was just such a thorn in my side. This specific deep dive. And I'm saying this as a precursor to a little rant that Past Me is about to go on. I can feel it coming, and I want to get that out of the way before I talk about the thing. So, I'm just kind of stalling for time here, like an awkward little guy, you know.
Why? Okay, tell me this. Tell me this. Why is it that when I right-click by accident on a mineral node, you immediately fire the rocket? When I do it on an enemy... No, get back here. I do it on an enemy, and you just wait forever until after the enemy's dead to fire your rocket. Yeah, you fucking run away, mister.
Yeah, fuck you. Anyways, on to the, topic for real. Games I'm excited for in 2026, because, you know... There's, like with 2025, there's probably going to be likely a lot of games that come out this year that I just want to play, and then there's going to be a good amount that I'm definitely not going to get to.
Oh, Christ.
I hear a stalker in the background. For example, you know, GTA 6. Honestly, I'm not that excited for it, I'm gonna be real. Like, don't get me wrong, Rockstar, they do make great game stories, but the idea of playing a Rockstar game actually does make me, like, want to vomit a little. Like, I love Red Dead story, but man, I'd rather play Danganronpa than play Red Dead. I'd happily watch the cutscene through. But yeah, sounds like we're gonna make it on chopping block. But games I'm definitely like 100% going to play, without a doubt, eventually in the year, is, let's start off with the one that is likely to come out the earliest. Definitely Resident Evil 9, aka Resident Evil Requiem. It looks so fucking cool. I love Resident Evil games. My personal favorite is the OG3 Nemesis on the PS1. I think it's an amazing game. But that's not to say I don't like new Resident Evil. You know, 4 is a lightning in a bottle game that everybody loves, and rightfully so. And 5, it definitely has problems, but if you can just ignore that and have a good time with your friends, you know, you can very easily look past the flaws. But if you're playing it solo, yeah, it's miserable. 6 is a game, and 7's wonderful. 8 was a little mid, I'm not gonna lie. That was... Ooh. Yeah, I don't like that either. I didn't like 2 cave leeches right next to each other. But, like, yeah, I love Resident Evil, and this new one looks super cool, because I think it is doing what 8 failed to do, in my opinion. See, I kind of have qualms with 8, but I'm not gonna talk about it here. Maybe it can be a topic for another time. But with 8, the first half of the game starts off similar to Resident Evil 1, like how Resident Evil 7 used 1 for the baseline. But then it slowly shifts into Resident Evil 4 territory, where it's like crazy, wacky, goofy action over the top type shit. What are you doing over here? I was worried when the swarm was called because I was kind of low on ammo and a little low in health, so I called a resupply. So I'm just like, oh, I didn't actually really need it, so I'm just going to go back and get some right there. And just top myself off. So 8 transfers from 1 to 9. From 1 to 4 with its baselines. But I feel it fails at the job because, low-key, the game just lacks what I wanted from a Resident Evil personally, and that is mainly, like, tone. I don't know how to describe it. Maybe if I was more lucid, I could, like, easily describe it, but I just think the vibe they went for with, like, the lichens and the weird fish monsters and Heisenberg, like, he's kind of cool, but, like, I just don't like him in Resident Evil. I don't know, and Ethan, I've always thought, like many people, I think Ethan is, like, the lamest video game protagonist ever. But now we have Resident Evil Requiem, which has this new character. She's not new, she's, like, a daughter of one of the main characters of the spin-off games, I'm pretty sure. But, like, this character, Grace, and her segments are gonna be like classic Resident Evil. It's gonna be good old survival horror, and it looks pretty good, and, you know, it's a return to Raccoon City, but everything's, like, broken down and old, like, kind of like Portal 2. That was a cheating move. That was a fucking cheater move, how he just instantly respawned after getting me already. And also, like, the new villain looks actually kind of creepy, like, genuinely. And, like, there's, like, weird ghost shit, but, like, it also looks like it's gonna be a fun zombie time. And then Leon shows up at the Game Awards all of a sudden, and it looks like fucking Resident Evil 4 Remake, which, you know, Resident Evil 4 Remake, sure, like, I think the original is better, but I don't think that's the case for the gameplay department. Resident Evil 4 Remake plays so fucking good, and it's probably, like, my favorite zombie game gameplay-wise, right next to Last of Us 2, which also is just a game I mostly want to play for the gameplay, because, man, murder never felt so good in that game. So, yeah, just very excited for Resident Evil 9. It looks very promising, and, you know, like, I still think the worst, like, even though I have problems with 8, I still think it's a cool time, you know? Anyways, next game I'm excited for 2026 is the new Fire Emblem, Fortune's Weave. Unfortunately, I'm a weeb at heart. I try not to act like it. I hate anime with a burning passion. But at the same time, I do love me some good slop, and Fire Emblem scratches that itch. With a serviceable story, and sometimes even a good story, when specifically it comes to the Tellius games, aka Ike's games. But also, just the gameplay and music and the vibes, they're also just fun, you know? Because, like, as shit as Fire Emblem Engage's story is, man, is that gameplay amazing. And then, all of a sudden, there's this new Fire Emblem trailer at a Nintendo Direct that actually looks pretty decent. It looks good. It doesn't look like a PS2 game, and the character designs don't make me want to vomit. And all of a sudden, what the heck is that? A crest I see? It's taking place in the same universe as Three Houses, which has like one of the better Fire Emblem stories. So I am cautiously excited for that, because the one problem I had with Three Houses was the monastery segments. They're very cool when you first play the game, but as you get to the end of your playthrough, you really wish they were removed. I need to stop hitting my pop filter in this. So I'm very cautiously excited, but I'm definitely going to be there day one for that game. I was there day one for Three Houses. I was there week one for Engage, unfortunately, as well. What was I gonna say? I can't believe we're already done with the thing. Goddamn. Another game I'm excited for is Duskbloods. I don't know much about it. I just know it's going to be kind of PvP focused. Like, Night Rain wasn't roguelike. Duskbloods is going to be PvP, but, like, Bloodborne aesthetics, like, I'm there, you know? And, you know, I may fucking hate the Souls PvP community, but, like, I'm not bad at it. At least in Dark Souls 3. I don't really fuck with the PvP in Elden Ring or, like, any of the other Souls games other than Dark Souls 3. That's the only one where I fucked with PvP. But I wasn't bad at it, by any means. So, I guess that's what having maxed out Gale's Greatsword does to you. And lastly, the big game that I'm most excited for this year is without a Deep Rock Galactic Rogue Core. It looks so good if you haven't seen the formula. It just looks like it combines this game's formula with Risk of Rain 2's formula. And, you know, Risk of Rain 2, I know it has a reputation, but I like that game. I do like it. I've liked what I've played. I like the general cycle. My problem was that I don't think it warrants like 1,000 hours, which a good amount of my friends on Steam have in the game. But Rogue Core looks like it's going to be quite the opposite. I already have 400 hours in this game, and I'm okay with it reaching quadruple digits. And Rogue Core looks like it's going to be the same. Also, honorable mention, the new Suda game. I probably won't be able to do it because it's going to come out close to Resident Evil Requiem. I want that more. That does look true. Anyways, yeah, real quickly, just shout out the new Suda game. I don't even know what it's called, but it's coming out close to Requiem, so I might not be able to play it on time, but if it was releasing at a different time, different story, I'd definitely want to be there.
Time for every fucking enemy in the entire game to be after me immediately.
True. Anyways, this mission is now a salvage mission. I don't think we've successfully done these on a deep dive, and spoilers, nothing's changed. Something I don't like about these missions, specifically on deep dives, is that every enemy in the world spawns. Actually, no, I remember that one gunner mission we did with it. Yeah, when I was talking about my blonde dog. Man, just, it's so annoying, especially when you're Scout, who's not particularly good at area, control. Area control. Oh, fuck it. I'm just gonna be honest. I had a topic for this mission, but I'm just gonna not talk about that. I'm gonna talk about what I want to talk about instead. I still hate Linux. This shit with my keyboard, where Windows and Alt no longer do what they're intended to do. What the fuck? Like, at least Alt was working, you know? Like, I was fine with the Windows key not working because I had Alt, so I could Alt-tab out of a full-screen thing, but now I have to just have every tab, every, like, other window that I want on the Steam Deck screen, and, like, be ready to pause the game and drag it over there, or I have to exit full screen in a game, and that sucks. Alternatively, I could just set, you know, the Steam Deck screen as my primary monitor, but like some games refuse to open on the secondary display and refuse to have an option for a windowed mode. Cough cough Halo Master Chief Collection, cough cough. And like, what the fuck? Like, I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of Windows, like, with its fucking AI bloat garbage, never fucking working properly, and I'm sick of Linux pulling some fast shit on me that requires me, to do a 6-hour Google search compilation to ultimately semi-fix the problem and cause, like, 2 new ones. These Nanonite... I keep forgetting the name of the fucking enemy. But this breeder, he was a real pain in my ass this entire mission, and as you can see, I'm really going through it. And although I don't realize it yet, I have no grenade ammo. And then I just realized it, and I'm like, oh, I need to call a resupply. And I kind of jet around here, and I'm like... And I died trying to get to the resupply.
Bosco, where have you been? Why are you being useless today?
He's been so slow today. I don't like Bosco in this deep dive. He was very mean to me. Also, the mutator right now is elite threats, which is just like sometimes a strong enemy will appear, but he has like pretty much the same health as a normal Praetorian, so it's really not that bad.
Now you can fire around. What is with you?
Yeah, what is with him? I right click with my ping like 10 minutes ago, and then he's like, I will now just decide to launch my rocket. But yeah, you know what? I'm complaining about Linux again. Like, again, actually no, I'm just going to talk about Apple, because like Apple, it just works. It just works. People like to complain about like Apple people are certainly pretentious. I won't lie, and they're like, oh, the ecosystem. I don't care about the ecosystem. And like, oh, you can't even game on an Apple. Like, yeah, that's what consoles are for. Both with consoles and Apple. You know, I buy the thing, I press start, and it just works. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to do driver installs. I don't have to wait forever for something to launch up. I don't have to configure settings crazy. I just press play, and it works. And that's on console. With a Mac, I launch it up, it asks me to create a password, I launch in with an app, I install some apps that I like, and it just works. There's no need for ridiculous bullshit. You know, it just works. The only problem I've had with my Mac in recent years was when finally editing the Final Fantasy XII video, my computer tanked whenever Final Cut was open. That was because the project was simply too big, and guess what? I bought some RAM sticks, I opened up my Mac Mini, which wasn't that hard to do. I just needed a special little screwdriver that was like $4 off of Amazon. And I put the RAM sticks in, and all of a sudden the Final Cut project was working fine. Hell, I can do it again, because it's RAM that doesn't even matter that much anymore. I checked the price as for 32 gigs of RAM, and it's like $40 for my Mac Mini from 2018. But, like, dude, I plug in my Mac, and it works. I plug in my iPhone, and it works. I know nothing about Android. You can actually use Android and be totally fine, I wouldn't know. But, also, at the same time, Android doesn't have Game Pigeon 8-Ball. So, like, yeah. Like, oh, Apple doesn't have Game 8. We have Game Pigeon 8-Ball, okay? I have, like, 400 wins in that. That's a lie, I have 200, but still. Like, and like the UI, yeah, it's kind of Silicon Valley core, but like, at least it's smooth, and they like, at least make it smooth, you know? Like, as much as I hate Apple as a company, like Nintendo, they make good products. Is it pricey? Absolutely. Will it last forever? Not their recent ones, low-key, but if you just take good care of it, it actually will. I still have an iPhone 8. I have a base model iPhone 8 from like... How long ago is the iPhone 8? Genie, pull that shit up. iPhone 8 release date. I still have an iPhone 8, and it doesn't have a single crack or a scratch. It has a good case from September 22nd, 2017. I have an 8-year-old phone. And it's totally fine. The battery drains a little too quickly than I'd like, but like that's the only problem it has. It does everything I want it to. It plays music, I can watch YouTube, and I can text and call my friends freely. You know? And like that's what I need it to do. And you know, with my Mac, I can edit videos, I can browse the internet, I can talk with friends on Discord, and I can do some cool stuff with Mac apps like Raycast. You know, and you know, as much as I hate to say it, the ecosystem really does click. Being able to copy and paste something on my phone, and then copy something on my phone and paste it onto my Mac, that's really cool and helpful and useful. So like, yeah, you can talk shit about
Dude,
Mac all you want, but it's fucking great. As you can see, I was struggling here to find the last manual, and I sped it up to 4 times speed, because I'm gonna be real, this shit just did not spawn. So actually, here's another thing that I want to talk about, kind of relating to Linux. So Linux had this buggy-ass thing where my keyboard and mouse didn't work, and then here comes this game, where straight up the mini-meal did not spawn. It actually was a bug. Okay, I checked. I posted on the subreddit, because there's a thread for every weekly deep dive that tells you what the missions are. But I don't use that, I use doublexp.net to check that shit out. Anyways, yeah, I was like, does anybody else like just not find the third mini-meal? And someone was like, yeah, I'm having the same exact problem. Did you find it? And I was like, nah. And then the person was like, yeah. Actually, I did find it. It was here. And it's like right above where I just got those 2 legs. For them. And I'm straight up telling you, it's not there. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to censor this. But like, I literally, like, try and look up the answer. And there's nothing. And yeah. Because, like, I'm telling you, it wasn't there on my screen. And I know for a fact that this is a bug, because guess what? Later today, I didn't record it. I should have recorded it. But I was tired, and I was a little irritated at something else that I won't talk about. But as you can see, I'm walking around here for a while. And, like, I went back, and I should have recorded it, but it was there. And as you can see, I leave a waypoint to where I hear the beeping the loudest, and I'm, like, trying to figure out where it is. I see the black box, and I start digging beneath it. What the fuck's going on? You know? Where the fuck is the mini-mule? It just didn't spawn. So I got fucked out of this deep dive because the mini-mule just decided, you know what, I'm not gonna spawn. Which actually can happen. There are, specifically with the legs. I've never seen a case with the mini-mule itself, but there is a bug.
I am looking.
It's a little rare, but there is a bug where the mini-mule can just not spawn. I just realized I was watching the deep dive in 2 times speed. So I'll just have to speed this up to like 8 times. I'm at 31:30 right now. Now it's 35. Yeah, cool. But yeah, I spend way too long looking for it. This is so like infuriating that like I can't get a win with Scout. You know, the first time I performed like ass, dying like 3 times, which is the most I've died in deep dive, and then the second time didn't release because I fucking died and failed the deep dive. And then this time, the game literally fucked me over. The mini-mule did not spawn. Like this is it's a very rare bug, and so like sometimes the mini-mule legs can't spawn and get fucked out.
I can never fucking win with Scout. I'm so like I genuinely think the game is bugged and the mini-mule just isn't fucking spawning. I know there's a bug where like the legs don't fucking spawn.
It didn't.
I don't know about the mule itself, but like still.
Yeah.
What the actual fuck?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I'm gonna abort the fucking like that. GG, you know. Consider I would have won that. I would have finished this deep dive.
I would have. Unless like a bulk spawned, I guess. Maybe.
God damn, I'm so frustrated that I can just never seem to like properly win on a deep dive with solo Scout. You know.
Yeah, you said it.
Cool.
It's not fair.
Fucking.
Yep, ending it how it should end. Not with the dancing at the jukebox. Well, thank you for watching. If you have conversation topics, leave a comment. If you have build suggestions, leave a comment. Whatever.